One of the best in the business, Mr. Mark Goddard, about to get this one underway. 3 5-minute rounds if they need them. And Ben Ellis has been talking to Kingsley Crawford during those introductions, Dan. He looks ready to get stuck in.
Well, I wonder if he can ground and pound like Khabib. Can he talk smack whilst ground and pounding like Khabib? But I think
we're about to find out.
Here we go.
I was about to say Ellis coming up in the centre of the cage, but he took Crawford's side of the cage immediately there.
Yeah, no waiting around as he tries to implement his game plan, which is going to be quite obviously to take his man to the ground and beat him up.
A good takedown defence in that first exchange there. Nice balanced posture from Kingsley Crawford. A lot more experience than Ben Ellis in terms of the professional side of things. Let's see if he can bring that to bear. But oh, big shots already from Ellis. Wow.
That was some nice defense from Crawford, and Ben Ellis just deciding that he's going to punch his face until he gives up the takedown, which he does. You don't see that too often.
We've seen in the previous fights, and in particular Ellis's last fight, just knocking someone out clean, not a TKO, a clean knockout with practically no leverage on the shots. He wasn't posturing up and leaning back like Mark Coleman, you know, the old traditional style of ground and pound. These were short shots. He generates massive power. So let's see if we're going to have a repeat of that here tonight, or can Kingsley Crawford solve the puzzle here?
Yeah, this is a really strong position that Ben Ellis is in. You know, Kingsley obviously wants to get back to the feet. Whilst it can be really effective to have your opponent up against the, looks like he's going for a Kimura here, it can be very useful to ground and pound someone when they're up against the cage, you know, stuck with their head trapped there, but it also helps the opponent, it helps the person on their back to get back to the feet. So I imagine Ben is going to try and keep Kingsley in the middle of the cage here to stop him from having any chance of getting back to his feet, so he can just ground him down and try and strike him as much as possible. Being nasty with that head in the face.
Now, it does become part of the game plan as well, just the frustration of having that head driven into you and not being able to move, not being able to see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, there's a few things when you're driving that head in. One, you're just trying to frustrate someone. You're just trying to make them take their mind off of what they actually should be doing, maybe with the legs, trying to regain guard, trying to sweep or do whatever, and you're making them think, well, this guy's just sticking his head in my face, and it starts getting you pissed off. So that's one thing, but the other thing is it can be useful as well. By turning the opponent's head away from where he wants to go, it's going to make it very, very difficult for him to move his body with strength in a position where he's going to be able to escape.
Crawford certainly making the effort here, trying to get something going, but Ben Ellis just not giving him any room to breathe.
Well, that's exactly it. You can really tell the style that Ben is grappling with right now. He is in a position where he wants his opponent to try and escape, because that's going to take away his energy. You know, there's no rush here. There's no urgency. This is a slow, you know, a long-term strategy here to try and break his opponent. He said that when he was talking just before the match started. He says you always quit, and that's what he wants him to do. He's going to try and he wants him to use his energy. He doesn't want him to be docile underneath. He wants him to try and get out. He's going to try and stop him by being super tight in this position, by punching him as well, by forcing him to try harder and harder to escape, and eventually that's going to completely sap him of all energy.
Well, Crawford hasn't been stopped as a professional yet. Ellis, meanwhile, hasn't been under the first round as a professional, so could be a night of firsts here. Trilogy. Brown got that triangle, that's what he used last time.
Yeah, Kingsley doing a really good job there of throwing up a triangle. You know, the standard defense of the triangle is the posture out of it, and what that does is give you enough space to try and get to a better guard position. So he was inside more of a full guard position here, but Ben Ellis doing a fantastic job of passing back to this, what you can tell is one of his favorite positions, which is this really smothering half guard position. You know, in a traditional jiu-jitsu or in grappling, just pure grappling, the half guard is not a great position, but in MMA it's fantastic because it gives you control of the hips and you can strike. It's actually better than side control for striking. So someone who wants the ground and pound, this is where they want to be.
Round one in the books, and a round in the bag certainly for Ben Ellis, and the only question will be, did he do enough there to get the 10-8, or did Crawford do little enough there for it to be a 10-8 round? And we had a couple of those last night in our main event. What did the 10-8 round, what did the 10-9 round?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to how much damage was done. He was trying to put damage, but Kingsley kind of was still putting up a fight. It wasn't completely one-sided, but obviously very dominant from Ben.
And there's those 3 hard shots there up against the cage, and some elbows now, sliding them back down and onto the jaw of Kingsley Crawford. Crawford doing what he could here, looking for that triangle choke.
Yeah, he said, Ben Ellis, when his corner came in, he said, I don't need the stall. This man is quite obviously all about getting inside his opponent's head. He's talking to him, saying, you're going to quit, you always quit. And then he's staring at him the entire time, pacing up and down the cage, refusing to sit down on a stool. And actually, if you look at the 2 fighters, it's quite obvious that that style has already started to wear on Kingsley Crawford.
Yeah, he landed a nice left hand at the start of this round, and he's trying to get his hands and feet off as quickly as he can here. Of course, he doesn't want Ellis anywhere near him.
Yeah, expect a shot from Ellis very soon, I imagine.
Tried that step and elbow a couple of times now, so Ellis is going to have to be careful if he's coming straight forward without changing levels. He's going to be wary of the knees of Crawford as well.
Wow, the power there.
Up there. Beautiful stuff from Ellis. Obviously a very technical wrestler, but you see that raw power as well, and you realise he really is the total package.
Yeah, Kingsley so far has shown a lot of skill in defending the takedowns on the fence. Of course, in the first round, the takedown that was really successful was a shot, but Kingsley doing a good job again of defending, but again just grinding from Ben Ellis.
Crawford fancies himself style-wise as a hybrid BJJ and Muay Thai fighter, and we've seen those stepping elbows and the knees within the clinch, but of course that clinch range is a bad spot for him to be in against a wrestler.
Yeah, and Ben's got him exactly where he wants him now at this point. And what I really like about Ellis' style is he takes his time. He's very slow, he's very composed, he knows what he wants. He's not rushing to try and get into a position. You see a lot of people, when they get a sniff of the back, they'll jump on it straight away. Look how slow and methodical he's been. He wants to open up the space and take advantage of it in his own time.
Pull it back. Pull it back behind you. Then if we can control the other leg,
Kingsley doing a good job. What Kingsley wants to do to stop his back from being taken is keep his back against the fence. It's one of the most useful things for the fence being there full stop, which is if someone is trying to get behind you, get the fence behind you so they can't be there.
The corner team of Kingsley Crawford, I'm particularly impressed with the lack of action, I guess, from Ben Ellis here. But that's Crawford's job to find his way in.
Yeah, and this is kind of part of the style and strategy of Ben Ellis anyway, which is, it may not look like a lot's going on, but, the pressure is there. He's forcing him to work the entire time to not have his back taken.
Well, that's good work for Crawford to get out from underneath Ellis, and a good job there to keep his man at arm's length. And let's see what he can line up here in terms of getting that Muay Thai to work. How many times have we seen the tides of battle change with one big knee or one big elbow from short range? And we know Crawford can do that. He's got a spinning back elbow KO on his record. Crawford's corner calling for their man to let his hands go here. And you can see Crawford trying to line one of those elbows or knees up there. Again, though, Ellis able to clinch, able to work his man back to the cage.
Very, very strong in this clinch position. You can just tell by the way he's sort of manhandling Crawford here. Wonder if he's going to drop down at any point and try and grab onto a leg. Very, very nice to get out of that position and follow up with some strikes from Kingsley Crawford.
Nice step in, knee to the body there from Crawford. Very interesting to see how the judges are seeing this. Crawford has landed some good shots in this round. Have they been enough? Well, we'll wait and see if it gets that far. Crawford, for his part, seemed pretty happy with this methodical pace down, just trying to find a way in here with the big shot.
Yeah, he's definitely having a lot more success than he did in the first round, even the first half of this round. It seems like that forward pressure of Ben Ellis is starting to ease up a little bit. I think you said he's never been out the first round? Well, you know, he's about to see the third round, so...
Yeah, never out of the first round as a professional. 2 very quick first round TKO wins. So we talk about the experience of Kingsley Crawford, his 22nd fight tonight. That cage time does count for a lot, and Crawford has been the distance on a number of occasions. As we take a look back now, some of the action. That was right at the start of the round, that nice right hand from Kingsley Crawford to start things off, and he found his range a number of times throughout this round. Good left hook there from Ellis, and look at this raw power now from Ben Ellis, just shushing his man off against the cage. Oh, you can't land them all, I guess. Just missing there was Ben Ellis with the ground and pound.
Then once again refusing the stall, stalking up and down the cage, eyes on his opponent the entire time.
And exactly the same as round 1 and 2. Come straight out, covered the distance immediately, and back Crawford up against the fence.
Now, I think after the second half of that first round, it's very likely that Kingsley's feeling a lot more confident in his ability to defend the takedown and to actually land some pretty significant strikes in the standing.
Nice jab and a knee there from Crawford. Ellis can't get complacent here.
Very strong leg kicks, but Kingsley definitely looking like he's a lot more comfortable taking the center of the cage for pretty much the first time this fight, and actually starting to put the pressure on Ellis a little bit.
Nice leg kick there from Ben Ellis, showing multiple facets to his game. Just caught with the counter though, that right hand counter to the left leg kick. Perfect stuff from Crawford. Missed just so slightly with the left hook to the body there. Crawford can't afford to swing and miss like that too often here in the third round. Got to use that energy economically. Nice stepping knee to the body there.
Wow, big shots.
Yeah, that one found the hole for the body.
Starting to put the pressure on.
Body shot from Kingsley Crawford. Really turning it up now, Dan.
Yeah, this is the first time in this fight that we've seen Crawford actually keeping Ellis's back against the fence as he starts to control the middle, starts to increase the pressure. I think he's feeling confident now. He's feeling like he's more proficient in the strike, and he's landing more and more, throwing a lot of power behind every single one of those hits.
Ben Ellis' corner calling for their man to keep his hands up. They don't want him catching an errant shot here. Just under 3 minutes left in this contest. Momentum certainly has shifted here in the third round. The question may be, if it goes to the scorecards, did Crawford do enough to take the second?
Yeah, I think that's a big question. It was a very, very close. I think first round was very easily Ben Ellis. The second round, very, very close. So It's going to be interesting to see what happens if it does make it the rest of this round. 2.5 minutes left to go.
Crawford looking to advance now. Ellis trying to stand his ground, centre of the cage. And the corner of Kingsley Crawford saying, don't think about it, throw the shot, calling for that jumping knee.
Now, it's very realistic to think that Kingsley needs to potentially even get a knockout here if he did lose that second round. So not bad advice from the corner.
And the corner of Ben Ellis calling for their man to keep working. They don't want him cruising here in the third round. They want the big finish in the final 90 seconds. Doing good work with the jab is Ellis. Just missing with the elbow over the top there on the right-hand side was Crawford. Tense moments here as we approach the final minute of the third round. Game with a nice lead leg kick from Ben Ellis. Seems more settled now than he did at the start of this round, Dan.
That's it, and again, jab kick, jab knee, thank you again.
Crawford's corner wants those big shots. Working the inside of the leg, perhaps trying to lure the guard down a little bit.
Jab kick, jab knee. Jab kick, jab good. Again.
Corner calling for the combinations. There's a nice two-piece from Kingsley Crawford.
30 seconds left in this round.
Crawford looking for a big finish here. He's got plenty in the tank. Ellis trying to find a way in. Tense moments here, final few seconds. Can Crawford get the big shot off? He doesn't. And this will go to the judges' scorecards. A very tense contest there, Dan.
That's it. I think it all comes down to who won that second round. First round, very obviously Ben Ellis. That third round, I think we can quite confidently say was Kingsley Crawford really starting to get into his groove there.
Let's take a look back at some of the action. Wobbles his man with a right there. And watch the liver shot here. Bam! Left hook to the body, picture perfect. Another hook to the body there from Crawford on the other side, really mixing up his targets. And a nice kick to the inside of the leg. We saw a few of those as the round wore on. And there's still a little bit of afters here. They had 3 rounds to resolve this. And hey, depending on how close this is, we could end up with a draw and maybe run it back.
One-arm push-up. One-arm push-ups.
Well, look, if it is a draw, we'll settle it with a push-up contest. That seems fair to me.
I say, is there any rules where we can just allow them to go a couple more rounds?
Well, our MC, Mr. Hal Chaplin, has the scorecards. Let's find out where they lie.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action, we go to our judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 in favor of your winner by way of unanimous decision in the red corner, Ben